Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I sure do appreciate you stopping by watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below. Check out our Instagram at Carryandcut and our Patreon at Carryandcut. Really do appreciate all the support from the patrons out there. All the proceeds go directly back into the channel to buy new knives and new equipment to make the quality and the content better for you guys. So today we got the tools out. We're going to do a disassembly and maintenance video on this brand new Kansept Egress. This knife is brand new, never really been used other than some light cutting around the house, so there really isn't going to be anything too dirty inside, but we're still going to do a maintenance video and just show you guys how to take this knife apart and how to care for it if you do choose on getting one. All the tools that I have will be linked down in the description below if you would like to check them out. It does help the channel, but completely up to you. So we're going to need two drivers for this one, T6 and T10. On my full review, if you guys watch it, I said that I had a T8 in the pivot. I'm definitely sorry about that. Hopefully you guys caught me. It is definitely a T10, so I'm sorry about that. So we got T6s in the pocket clip here, we got T10 in the pivot, and T6 in the body screws. So let's go ahead and get this pocket clip ripped right off here. Always be sure to keep your bolts, screws where they need to be, and these are going to be the exact same length in the pocket clip, so let's go ahead and set that aside now. Let's go ahead and pop the pivot right off here, get our T10 out. Get that right off there. Alright, like to put that to the side. Keep all of our screws that we got going on one certain side of the knife, or at least the side of your mat here. So there's one T6. I'm pretty sure these are probably going to be the same exact length. Keep popping him right on out of here. Alright. So those are going to be the exact same length. Nothing really too much to be worried about there. Nice to see. It just makes everything a lot easier. So there we go. We got one scale. We got our other side of our liner here, at least one side of our liner. We'll get him popped out of here. Sometimes they kind of get stuck together. Well, this dude don't want to come off there. There we go. Alright, we got our actual blade. We got our ball bearings in the pivot here. Get these up here on the side there. There's our G10 back spacer. There's our other side of the pivot. And I thought this was a captive pivot, but I think I'm definitely wrong. It just has a super snug fit to where it really doesn't move on the other side. So I don't see any sort of indicator, any sort of a D shape, nothing like that. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but it's not too big of a deal. As long as it doesn't not spinning on you, that's all that makes a difference. Alright, let's go ahead and take this side apart now. Get our T6 back out. Definitely make sure you guys are being careful when you're taking these apart. That thing was definitely stiff. Alright, there's one of them. We're just going to put those two together. Get all my stuff out of the way here. Moderate pressure. Should have no problem. Alright, and there's our other one. Perfect, same size, can't beat it. Alright, so that came out of there. Fairly simple. We do have a nice little bit of oil going on in here. But definitely a very simple overall knife, and I do not understand why I went with a white knife to begin with. I am definitely not the cleanest person in the world, and me and white we do not play nicely together, I guess you could say. Definitely get white dirty way too quick. I don't even own many white clothes. So let's get this cleaned off here also. Alright, so that's what we got. We got two liners. We got our two scales. G10 for the back spacer. We got our deep carry clip. We got our actual back spacer standoffs. Two bearings. And the pivot. So not too much going on here. Pretty simple knife, and that is a good thing. Sometimes you don't need a whole bunch of crazy stuff to go on. Get the blade wiped off here. Alright, let's go ahead and start reassembling this thing. So we'll start with our liner lock side. We'll pop our pivot right back through there where it came out of, just like so. Actually, before we do that, why don't we throw our barrel spacers back in here. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of Locktite on this one. While I fumble over everything, let's see if we can get our actual screw on the driver. Make things a little bit easier. A little bit of Locktite. Just like so. That one went on pretty easy. Get this one snugged in there too. I think these drivers were at one time magnetic. I think their magnetism is wearing off somewhat. I think it's just a coating they put on. Over here we could probably just go ahead and throw our pocket clip on too. A little bit of Loctite on the pocket clip. That's always an important one to me. Hate losing your pocket clip screws. That's a little aggressive amount. This step you could probably do at the end, but we'll just go ahead and give it a try now since we're here. Snug down a little bit at a time, then we'll come through and we'll actually fully tighten down. The pocket clip, you can actually tighten it down all the way, but all the rest of the screws we're still going to initial tighten on it, so we don't have to get too carried away with it. Alright, so now we can throw our pivot back in, like so. This thing is definitely precision fit. Dude does not want to go in there. There it went. Yeah, that is snug. That thing is definitely machined quite well. So we got our stop pin right there. This is our lanyard attachment point. He does not want to come out of there, so we'll go ahead and leave that alone for now. Alright, let's go ahead and throw some KPL here in the pivot, or the race of the actual bearing for the knife. Just like that. We'll throw one in there. Alright, put a little bit of KPL all over the knife here. A little bit goes a long way. You don't have to go too crazy. We can go ahead and throw our G10 backspacer in there now too while we're at it. Just like so. Alright, we can go ahead and throw our blade on now. Alright, perfect. Now we can go ahead and throw our other, put a little bit right there on the D10 ball too. Just like that, a little more on the actual bearing. Throw a little bit on the race here also. Perfect. And it should snap together pretty easily. Just like so. Make sure everything's nice and tightened together, at least popped into place. Alright, now we can throw our actual liner over the top of it. Let's go ahead and start with our backspacer screws here, Loctite. That is my favorite Loctite, the actual stick variety. It makes a huge difference when you're actually putting these knives together. The liquid just seems to make a big mess for me, and past experiences, I just don't use it anymore. I do have a tube of it, not a stick, an actual tube of the liquid Loctite. It is just not my favorite thing in the world. Seems like I can do better with this stuff. So let's get some Loctite on this pivot here. Perfect. And this blue stuff that's not crazy high strength. It's just pretty much like it just holds the knife. It doesn't or holds your bolts. It doesn't actually you know, really prevent anything from. It does prevent stuff from coming loose, but it's nothing too crazy. All right, so we can get our blade nice and centered up. That looks pretty good right there. Test our action. Right on the money. No blade play. Reverse flick works great. Pretty much a drop shot on the action. Front flipper works excellent. And that big honking blade just wants to fall right down. Just a little bit of encouragement, but this thing still has some breaking in to do. Alright, perfectly centered. Let's go ahead and tighten up the rest of our backspacer screws here. There, so there went something snapped into place. Alright. Tighten these ones up. Alright. Oh yeah, now we got it going on. I think that one just didn't quite pop into place. Alright, so that is how you disassemble and maintain your Kansept Egress. Make sure you guys go check out the full review of this knife that I put up yesterday, or whenever you see that video a couple days ago. It'll be on the channel. So thanks for watching. Until next time. Thanks.